Hey, Trail people. You're listening to the Trail Network podcast hosted by Rachel Drake, Hilary Yang, Katie Asmith, and myself, Leah Yingling. We're here to celebrate the community and connections within trail running and talk about connections, guys. It's all four of us here today, which is rare, and I'm so happy to see everyone's face.
As Rachel yawns.
Oh my gosh, we can't yawn. People are on their run, you guys. We got to pump up the energy. Go, 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 go. You're crushing.
Oh my gosh. No, it's good to see all of you guys. I do feel like it's a rare occurrence, but also one of the reasons I think that our podcast is sustainable is the fact that we can all share the load. So, but yay, when we get the chance to all catch up, it's great.
Yeah.
Literally, guys, when's the last time we tried to do it for 100th episode? We tried to get everybody on. Didn't happen.
We couldn't even get that.
So, like,
Yes, my bad.
this is
Sorry.
a celebration in itself. Like, really, to have everybody here. Good job. Good work, team. So much has happened in the world of trail. Who wants to start?
I want to ask Hilary about her film. This is like a huge project that you've been working on and finally got to see the light of day. So how are you feeling kind of in the context of that coming out and getting to share it with the world?
Honestly, it was so much fun. I was so nervous all weekend, you guys. I think it was just like it's pretty vulnerable, right? Like, I mean, it's something I've worked on a lot. It's a 90-minute film, which, side note, we didn't put that in any of the like promotion stuff, which we realized. And then we had like a showing that started at 5:30, like right over dinner time. So, first of all, thank you to everyone who came out for the premiere and stayed like champions for it, probably thinking it was a 20-minute short film when it was a
I
full-length
saw popcorn.
feature
They got
film.
popcorn, right?
Yeah, Hoka was amazing. Like, just I want to say it's been really cool working with them. And for the last like over a year, and this is not like sponsored on the pod or anything, but just like shout out to them for taking really good care of us. Like, we've had monthly meetings for the last year about this project, and like their whole team just like staying in the loop. And then they rented out the theater and they gave everybody vouchers for like free soda, candy, and popcorn. And they had like Hoka branded popcorn things. So it was like, yeah, I felt very grateful. And just getting to show it in a real theater was such a like, I don't know, it was really, really special, you know? And it was like, oh, everyone's like sitting in real seats. And it was just like really, really cool to have that. So yeah, I mean, it was sold out. We had a wait list. I was like getting people texting me leading up to it because it was like the hot ticket item and people would hear about it and be like, oh, can I come? And I'm like, how many people can I squeeze into this theater? It ended up all working out. And there's always some no-shows, especially with like a free event. So we had like a few seats at the front empty, which was fine because who wants to sit in the front row and like break their neck anyways? But like, yeah, the weekend was busy because it's training camp weekend, you know, so fun to be out on the trails and seeing everybody. Billy and I were staying in a Sprinter van all weekend, which was also an adventure. We were doing like influencer thing with a
What was
like
this?
Sprinter van company. We like fit it in.
Wait, what?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Explain.
It's a company called RV Share, and you can like rent people's RVs through it. It's like platform. And so we rented from this guy who lives in Rockland near Auburn. And he's got like 3 of these RVs that are all pimped out, and people like rent them and take them up to Napa Valley or whatever. So yeah, we rented it for the weekend, or like didn't rent it, but like did this collab thing.
Hustler.
And like,
Oh, I love it.
I know.
That's
So we're
fun.
like out there filming, like got the drone up, doing the 360 sunset shot, like the coffee making. But it was really funny. I'll just like side note, I could probably just like talk about random stories on this whole podcast, but Billy was like really set on using the like portable shower in the back of it to take a shower because we were like, that's pretty great. So we like set up this whole shot and whatever. And then we go to turn on the water pump and nothing comes out. And I'm like filming, we've got it all set up. He's in his
The kid-
boxers, like trying to do the shower thing. And they like
Spicy.
forgot to fill up the water tank in the Sprinter van. So he's standing there and we're like, there's no water coming out. This is so anticlimactic. And so we're like, well, we really want to show this. And so we got a big like jug of water that we had and like poured it over his head.
Was it so
And I
cold
just, like,
though?
film that. No, it wasn't at all.
No?
It was just really funny because it was like we're
Not
trying
the
to show all the
shot.
features of this van,
Oh,
and then we're
that's
like,
so
oh,
good.
whoops. And there was
Okay.
like a toilet in the back, and I couldn't flush it because there was no water. So I was like, whoops. But it was really fun. So we were living out of that all weekend. I like snuck in a shower before the premiere at Emily Hoggood's house. Like that was about as like cleaned up as we got.
Going back to your film, I think most of our listeners will know what your film is about, will have seen the promotional materials, but just I'm thinking of my mom listening. And for those who don't know what the film was about and why it's impactful, I think that would be
Yeah.
helpful. Yeah.
It's called Raise the Bar. And basically, it came out of last year when there was all the hype around the men's race and there was all the talk about making Unbreakable 2 as a follow up to Unbreakable, which is just like all kind of men's race focused. And when I saw that like being talked about and promoted, I was like, well, it's kind of bull crap that in 2026 or 2025 that we're not like featuring the women. And so I came up with this whole thing of like, hey, like there's no one front runner. Like there wasn't a Courtney running or a Katie running. And so I think a lot of people were just like, what's the story? And I was like, well, the story is that there's like 20 women who could win this thing and none of them have ever won before. And someone's going to be a first time winner. And how cool is that? That it's just like this open playing field, and that here we are at a moment in the sport where we have so many talented women, where it used to be just like Ann Treason or like a few women at the front. And so basically the whole concept was just like raise the bar, as in like over the decades we've kind of elevated all these women to a place where everyone believes that they can win. And like the times that we're throwing down are faster than the men's winning times from like up until a few years ago. You know, I just thought it was such a cool kind of thing to noodle on. So yeah, Hoka greenlit it. We started filming last year at training camp. We had 4 athletes that we were following, but then we also sat down with like the legends of the sport. Western States was co-founded by 2 women, which no one talks about. Everyone only talks about Gordy Ainsley running it, but he didn't organize the race. It was like Mo and Shannon, who are these 2 incredible women who are
We need
still
to
like
get
heavily
Shannon on
involved
the
in the
pod,
race
guys.
today, 50 years later.
Yeah, Shannon's gonna come on. She wants to come on. Did she talk to you this year? Remember last year, Hill, she came up to us and talked to us about it?
Oh yeah, Shannon is incredible. So we sat down with her. We sat down with Mo Livermore. They just have so many stories. And like I want people to recognize these women. I want people to go up to them in the village and be like, tell me stories, and appreciate that these women, they were in their 20s when they like got this race off the ground. They're dealing with Forest Service. They were both like gorgeous, long hair, just like such like beautiful hippies organizing this trail race and shuttling runners back and forth and like letting runners like crash out at their like homes all weekend while they trained. Like it's just so much fun. So I just really wanted to like elevate this whole part of like Western States because it's a really cool part of the history. And then obviously you have like Ann Trayson, you've got Ellie Greenwood, you've got Courtney. And so we sat down with all of them and interviewed all of them. Not Ann Trayson, but we like got amazing footage of her like time in the sport and just like kind of were able to show like she started it, but then yeah, like Ellie came along, Courtney came along, and all these women keep kind of like pushing what's possible. So it was really, really cool. And to me, that was like really important to build in the history of the race because it's like we have a whole generation of new trail runners, right? Like every few years, I feel like I don't recognize all the faces. Like there's just a lot of people joining trail, which is incredible. But we also like kind of have an obligation to keep the history alive. And, you know, I always think people are like, oh, I love Western States because of the history. And I'm like, okay, well, tell me about it. What do you know about it? And people are like, oh, Gordy, you know? And so I think like to me, that was really important to be like, hey, like, let's just maybe every 10 years, we need something that just like level sets like what the race is and why it matters. And so, yeah, long-winded, but that's where it all came from. And so it was really fun. So the film bounces back and forth between like the past and the present day and like weaves in the experiences of these women through the decades with the like present day kind of excitement of the race. And like you don't really know what's going to happen. Maybe you do, but like probably forgotten what happened last year. So it's all new again. So yeah, and we got to like travel to China. We traveled to Hong Kong with Esther Chileg. We traveled to mainland China with Hu Zhao. We were in Portland for the other 2 main characters, and yeah, I don't know. The whole thing was such a labor of love. And then we meant to make a 40-minute film. That's what we pitched to Hoka. And just like as we were editing it last fall, it was like this thing is huge, and we've got like, I don't know, 15 characters that we did big interviews with that we're trying to like fit in. So it just sort of grew into this feature length film. And yeah, I mean, even trying to edit it towards the end, it's like is so big that, you're just like kind of lost in like just how much there is. And so when we got the chance to like show it in the theater, I felt like I was sort of sitting down and watching it from the beginning to the end for the first time in a while, and like hoping that we didn't miss anything too crazy. So I was definitely like nervous. Carrie and I, my co-director, we like sat on the side the whole time, just sort of like peeking at it, like, but yeah, just getting to share it with people. People got there early. People were like an hour early. There were so many people wearing their Here for the Women's Race shirts. They're like, the race directors were there, the board of directors. Like, we did a panel discussion with Mo and Shannon afterwards, which was a really big deal because Mo is like quite shy and doesn't love this stuff. And so I felt like that was like my biggest win, was just like getting their support and sort of like excitement for it. And yeah, so it went really well. Everyone seemed to love it. And, got a lot of like really great engagement from our friends of the podcast who have been following the journey
Aw.
and came out to watch it. We had people drive up from Reno. We had just like really great energy from the community. And so to everyone that has followed this whole saga and sort of seen me working on it, I just want to say I really appreciate everyone that was able to be there in person or is going to see it at some point or has sent me an encouraging message. It's really, really cool to start to bring it to life. I mean, now it's just like kind of the beginning and we're really excited for sort of like being able to show it to more people. But I think training camp weekend was like both the best and the worst place to premiere a film about Western states because it's about as like insider baseball as it gets as far as the audience. It's like, if you premiere it to like a film festival or whatever, they're just like, wow, 100 miles, that's really far. And if you premiere it to like the people that are coming out to training camp that have spent 10 years trying to get into the race, / the board of directors and the people that put on the race, it sort of occurred to me like halfway through the movie as I'm explaining the history of the race to them that like there's a lot of potential for it to go sideways. It's like, oh my gosh, if anybody's going to be like, yeah, no, you didn't get that right, it's going to be these guys. But they seem to love it. So we're good. That's my spiel.
Huge congratulations, Hilary. I'm so happy for you guys. Oh my gosh.
Thanks,
Well, and
guys.
if you haven't listened back, but Carrie and Hilary had an interview back, what was that, November? We've been teasing this for a long time. Hill, do we know where it's gonna live? Do we know where it's gonna live? Like,
It's,
can we get a Netflix
yes,
deal or
sort
something?
of.
Come on.
We're working on it. No, we're not exact. So the next time you can see it is at Western States. We are working on a screening on the Thursday night, just like finalizing details. But it'll be in Olympic Valley, and so hoping a lot of people will be able to see it there. That should be coming out soon. And then we want to do a few more like screenings and just sort of like create some community moments over the summer. We're still submitting to some film festivals, so the short answer is like, yes, it's going to go online in some way. I would love to see it end up on Netflix, Katie. It is so hard to get things on Netflix or Amazon or whatever. We've been exploring it, but it's like a bit of a who you know, and it's also a pay to play system. And so both of
Mhm.
those things are hard when you've run out of money. And it's also very niche, which I like appreciate. So it's sort of like you need a combo of luck, connections, and money to get things on streamers. And ultimately, we just want people to see it. So likely it'll end up on YouTube in the fall, is probably my guess. And until then, we'll just try to do some in person moments so you guys can see it as much as possible and really lean into the community part of it. We'll probably still keep doing in person moments even after it's online. But yeah, raisethebarfilm.com. We're going to like try to keep that updated as we have more information on it. But yeah, it's fun. I'm getting a lot of messages of like where to see it. And that's a good problem to have. So we're working on it, guys.
So cool. Well, just like thank you for doing that. I mean, I think it's really important for future generations to have a place to go to learn about the race and just to highlight like the rise of women in the sport. And kudos to Hoka for supporting it and seeing the value there. I think that speaks a lot about their values, and it's cool to see.
Yeah. Well, and I'll say a couple things on that. It's really fun that it's not just about Hoka athletes. Like we really like feature sort of women from like across the brands across, because that can be hard. Sometimes you have amazing stories and you don't get to tell them because they're not the athletes that you're following. And so it was fun to be able to really like highlight everybody. We highlight all top 10 of the women that finished Western States last year, like kind of give everyone a moment. And then the other thing, I lost my train of thought with that, but yeah, it just really. Oh, I was gonna say one of the best compliments I got about the film was just that it's like such an exciting race that you forget that there's even a men's race. Like it's just we're not trying to like exclude the men's race, but it's just like we don't ever see films that just really highlight the women in a way that it's like not an addition to the men's race. And so that was just like kind of fun to be like, yeah, now we have a film that really like just celebrates women, but celebrates everybody, celebrates human potential, you know? And I hope that's the thing that people took away from it is just like, we are all capable of doing incredible things. And this race and this community are for everybody. And, you know, like even in the film, like everyone's days play out differently. And that's just the way that it is. But I think the reminder that like, hey, we get to be out here and to push ourselves and to do these amazing things. And like, how lucky are we? And to just like kind of like bring everyone into that is really important. So yes. Yeah, it was really cool. I'm hyped, as you can tell. It's been fun. On that note, how
I
are the
can't wait to
rest of
see
you
it.
guys doing?
I think we have an important thing to talk about. Rachel, do we need to jump into this? I mean,
Yeah.
Leah, maybe you should set us up. I think Leah, you should set it up
Yeah, I
because
think I
you were
should.
there on the
Yeah,
ground.
speaking of YouTube stars, Rachel.
Rachel, Ultra Family Hustle YouTube. Check it out.
You
It's Tyler and Rachel's YouTube channel. They dropped a really great little short film just last week of Rachel's uh, speed attempt on West Grandeur here in Salt Lake City. And for those of you who are not familiar, West Grandeur is a terribly hard climb here in Salt Lake City that has had many solid efforts over the years. The most recent women's FKT being set back in 2019 by Hilary and has stood for 7 years. And this peak is 2.2 miles and 3,300 feet to the summit. So it goes from the valley floor up 3,300 feet. It's so steep. It's like 30% grade average. And Rachel not only took the FKT last week, but she demolished it by 2 minutes. It was previously 45 minutes and change, and Rachel did 43:21 on it. Is that right?
Woof.
Good.
And
Yeah.
she was feral by the end of it. She was working so hard, and I would say, like, completely blew it out of the water. I think blew away everybody's expectations of like what could be done on this route. And if you watch her and Tyler's recap of the effort, I think that was a point that you guys both definitely tried to make is like really getting the most out of yourself regardless of prior times that have been put up on an effort. So really telling yourself that there are no limits. So Rachel, I would love to hear more about it because I got to have glimpses into it just last Friday, but I can't even begin to imagine what it was like to experience it within yourself.
Yeah. I mean, Leah, we've talked about this like kind of over the past few months and probably even while we were pregnant, like just that it would be cool to do a hard effort on there. And, you always talk about what the fastest time is, but like more importantly, just to do a really hard effort and see what's possible. Yeah, this is something I've had on my mind for a while and just kind of scared of it. I didn't really decide that I was going to go for it until basically that week. The weather had been pretty good. It was kind of cool. And there had been a few mornings where I think there was like a little bit of a tailwind. And I think on Wednesday, I told Tyler, my husband, I was like, I think I might go for it on Friday, like while we were having dinner with some friends. And he goes, oh, really? Okay. And then the night before I think he texted you, Leah, and I don't know, some other friends and tried to kind of like rally some people to come and support, like to help film or just to be out there, just knowing that this sort of thing, like having friends around really is a performance enhancer.
Mhm.
So it was cool. We had some friends out. Our friend Caleb Olson, obviously Western States champion, precision fuel and hydration athlete. He paced me for the second half of it and it was super helpful. It was definitely feral. I feel like I don't think there's much more I could have done in terms of an effort. Like I really pushed hard and that was cool. And you can see that in the video that Tyler made.
Yeah, it was so cool, and I think something that stands out to me was Caleb was pacing Rachel and said, like, that was harder than he does, like, any of his workouts at. So I feel like that definitely puts it in perspective of just, like, how truly hard Rachel could gut herself for 43 whole minutes. But I also think just, like, your celebration and your joy, right, as you crest the top, you're like, "Oh my god, that was so hard." And then in the next breath, you say, "That was so awesome." And I think that just really describes what ultra and trail running is to a lot of us, is that was so hard, but that was so awesome. Can you talk a little bit about, like, yeah, the aftermath and just kind of maybe what it felt like to, like, break a barrier, by so much, and then what you proceeded to do for the next 2 hours after this effort?
Yeah, so that's such a good point that I mean, I think everyone when they're running, whether it's up a mountain or along a flat beach, is probably thinking at some point in their run, I just really want this to be over with. This kind of sucks. This is really hard and uncomfortable. And I was definitely thinking that while I was doing it. I was like wishing that Caleb wasn't there so I could just like sit down for a second. But then you're right. Once you're done, you're like, that was so incredible. Like, it's just like that pure elation that you get when you do something really hard. Yeah, so we spilled over the top of the mountain. Anytime you're going for a Strava segment, I think it's really important that you start well before the segment starts. And you kind of, if you're doing a peak, you kind of go up and over a little bit just to make sure you get the segment. So we went up and over, and then Mike and Leah, they have this cute little thing they do on Fridays where like they each start on opposite sides of the mountain and then they like run up to each other and like do a little yo-yo crisscross. So I knew that Leah would be out there. So we met up with them and then kind of ran back down to the cars and then Caleb and Mike were going back up and over to the other side where Mike had parked. So I somehow ended up doing that as well, which I think was good for practicing running longer on tired legs, but it also sucked.
Yeah, I think Rachel ended up with like a 7,500 plus foot day with a insane effort on West Grandeur to start that. So, yeah, I think anybody that's doing any ultra training, that's one way to do it, is to get your long run in by just hammering the first 45 minutes of it.
And then Leah, tell them what we did the next day.
Oh,
This really sucked.
yeah. We willed ourselves out of our houses at what 6:30, 7 o'clock at night to do a long run. That's something we're trying to get better at in our builds to UTMB is getting out on tired legs, but also like in kind of different times of day, like darkness after dinner, just times we're not really used to running. And it was like a 3 hour run that you would have thought was about 10 hours based on how we were both feeling. But I think it really speaks to having a running buddy, having accountability, and just kind of setting your mind to something and having something that is almost starts to become a little bit more consistent. And I think
Mhm.
that's what we were for each other there was these accountability buddies that if we weren't doing a long run that night, it was not getting done. And we did it.
Mhm. We did it. It's such a good, I mean, I feel like a lot of our listeners are like working athletes, trail runners, parents, like struggling to figure out how am I going to do this? And this has like been such a unlock for us to realize like, okay, we can have one night a week where our partners put the kids down and we go kind of run into the night and it's kind of difficult, but it takes away a lot of that guilt of like, oh, I'm missing out on time with the family or that sort of thing. So I feel like that's been another good unlock to these evening runs.
And it feels like I mean, I know that run sucked, but it felt like free it feels like free mileage. Like, when you're not running, like, in the morning or in the middle of the afternoon on a weekend, it's almost a sneaky mileage that, in my mind, doesn't count in some way, and, I mean, we felt every mile out there, and it counted, but it almost
But
felt
you almost forget about it. Like you go to sleep and you're like, did that even
Like a
happen?
dream, a dreamlike trance. I'm curious what you guys have learned on these night runs. I mean, what are you taking away every time you do them? I'm sure you're learning something different to make the next night run more fluid, more smooth. What are you taking away each time?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because this is not what, your second, your third time doing this?
Yeah, probably second time, so we're just
Second.
we're so consistent right now, just 2 weeks in a row,
So
it's great.
consistent.
Uh
Nailing it.
It's a
Tradition.
thing.
I think the conversation has been flowing, and I think that's important. I know it doesn't necessarily simulate what you might experience in a race, but I think if you are doing any of these night runs, is yeah, finding a buddy that you jive with, and you can just get these miles to fly by with, and we are really feeding off of each other too. And we're talking a lot about UTMB whenever we're doing these runs, but something we've been doing is taking our pulls on every run even when we might not need them. Rachel's better about it than I am. And then also like practicing with our headlamps at UTMB this year. There's like a red light that you need to use. So like just making sure we've got our headlamps on us. We've been wearing like our clear glasses like we're going to wear in UTMB, and just getting used to a lot of those like different types of transitions that you go through
Mhm.
out on the course when you go from like evening to nighttime.
Yeah, I think gear management and like temperature regulation were some things that we're kind of working on because you experience more like fluctuations in temperature in the evening. And then also like figuring out how to pack your pack and make it so your headlamp's accessible and it's not rubbing and you can get to it without having to like take your pack off. And then fueling is another big one. Like I think after this most recent one, I was like, "Oh, I'm definitely going to Wendy's after this." And Leah was like, "I'm definitely going to Chick-fil-A after this." Did you go to Chick-fil-A?
I did.
Nice. I went to
Oh, so
Wendy's.
good.
I've been drinking, like, these Huel protein drinks that have, like, 40 grams of protein in them, and they're incredible, so I'll, like, have one of those as well. I think the thing that I've been struggling with a little bit is, like, I kinda have trouble falling asleep
Mhm.
after
Mm.
because 'cause I'm a little revved up, so I think that's kinda the next step in figuring out how to keep this optimized so I'm not losing sleep, but I'm definitely learning things that I wouldn't be learning if I had just been doing them at normal times.
Yeah, and I think trying to navigate dinner is tricky, because I'm personally somebody that eats dinner quite late, usually between, like, 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So when I'm starting a run that kind of overlaps with that, just
Mm.
figuring out how to fuel prior to that run and not just make your running nutrition your dinner at that time, like, you actually need
Mhm,
something.
mhm,
So, still figuring that out, but because that is tricky and that is something we will experience with you know, whatever time TMB starts, 6 something.
mhm.
It's actually like such a good thing to practice, like running on a kind of full
Mhm.
stomach and like
Yes.
even just that, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah. My
Ah, fun.
dietitian from Precision, who I'm gonna record with tomorrow morning, I was talking to her about trying to work on, UTMB nutrition, and what that was one of the things she said was, like, try to try to practice, like, kinda overfueling or eating right before a big run, so I'll ask her more detailed questions when we record tomorrow.
I'm so excited for that. Okay, wait, can we backtrack just a hot second about your FKT, Rach? Because
Mhm.
our listeners know, because we've been talking about you for a long time, but you going into Madeira, for instance, we were like, how the hell did she do that? Because you're working night shift, ICU. This is crazy. Like, we can't get you on the pod because you're nonstop, right? Like, you're working and mothering and like barely training. And then you pull off Madeira, and we're just like, how the hell did that happen? I'm just so in awe that you're able to throw down this insane FKT with like quote unquote little training or nothing sexy in your words. Like, that is incredible to be able to go out with that sort of tempo in that effort just to decide a couple days before. So can you speak a little bit, I guess, to that, how you were able to train to get to that effort and yeah, I just like the confidence you have to be getting from Madeira and now this, like, girl, you're on fire.
It's funny to hear you say that because I feel like, I mean, I come home and I say to Tyler, and I probably have said this to you, Leah, just like in, the quiet of our home, I'm like, I feel like I'm failing as a mother, as a doctor, as an athlete, kind of for the reasons you're saying,
Mm.
like just that it's really hard to do everything well and just to like feel like if I'm training, I'm not studying, I'm taking boards in like a week. So if I feel like if I'm training or I'm doing some run, then that means I'm a bad doctor because I'm not studying for this test. And if I'm studying, then I feel like I'm a bad mom because I'm not with my kids. And then if I'm with my kids, I feel like I should be studying. It's like this terrible cycle of kind of like guilt. And I think with running, I just acknowledge that it gives me so much joy and purpose. And it sounds so frivolous, but it really like gives me energy to do all the other things well, or at least like have, I don't know, have some joy and happiness. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say except that it's not it's not flashy. That I don't feel like I'm training well, but I just love it so much that I think it's worth trying.
It's almost like you're taking the time that you do have and you're making everything quality that you're able to really perform when you want to perform. And clearly you're giving it your all because you're like, heck, I might as well. If I've got 45 minutes, I'm going to use that 45 minutes sort of a thing. But anyways, from the outside, it's definitely looking like you're thriving at everything. So it's just really my jaw is like on the floor after watching that YouTube video. I was like, Jesus, Rachel, what can't you not do? Like, come on, girl. Like, incredible. It really is. It's really impressive. So anyways, I'm just really happy for you. But
Thank you.
obviously
Thank
you really
you.
do run with that joy. I mean, the grunting is such an inspo. I mean, everybody who's watched it, oh man. Like next time I'm running up Dragon's Back and Mammoth, I'm gonna be like, huh, huh, I'm gonna just grunt just for the grunting part. Like maybe it'll make me go faster.
The Rachel grunt.
Bring back the
Yeah.
grunt. Anyways,
No, echoing Katie there, Rachel, I think it's just really cool to see you put these big efforts in what training time you have. And I do think that's something that, I mean, watching you train for Mammoth Trail Fest when you did that, I remember you were running really low mileage, but you do really make it count. And I just think that's really important because so many of us don't have time to run 60, 70, 80, 90 miles a week. But it's like you can be really intentional with that time. And yes, it requires a bit more effort, but it's also just sort of a decision that you make with just like how much you value this and what you want out of it. And then to see the results pay off, it's like, yeah, it's never going to feel like enough, but you are sure maximizing it. And I just think that's something that like everyone can take away is just like, yeah, whatever time you do have, like it's sort of in your power to decide how you use it. And I love it so much. You're friggin'
Yeah.
badass. And Broken Arrow has absolutely
talented
no chance with
AF.
you coming.
Thanks.
I was just thinking, man, like, watch Rachel come up that VK. Like, that's just going to be insane. Like, just
Oh, I
watching you
wish I
throw
could do
down.
the VK.
Yeah, what are you
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
race?
But just like that section, right? Like the whatever that climb is, just like, yeah.
She's gonna be like,
Because you're doing the 26K, right?
I
Or the
switched to
50K,
the I switched to the 46K. Yeah.
the
I
46K.
asked for that Friday off of work.
Time on feet.
They don't allow that day off.
Uh, Leah, are you doing the 46K? I need
Yes.
to look at the list.
We're in the
Yeah,
triple.
I'm in for all 3 right now.
You're doing all of that. Woo! Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
I'm
I'll
on
be
for the
really good at
46K, but
UTMB
guys, I don't
training.
even know right now. I'm a wreck. I don't
Yeah,
even
Katie,
know.
tell
I'm
us
living
about
vicariously through you guys.
Here's the thing, like the motivation has to come from just like that day. Like, okay, this is where my body's at. This is where my mind's at today.
Yeah.
I want to just get the most out of myself today and not think about, okay, yeah, I'm not in the best shape. Or maybe like you're in really good shape and you're putting pressure on yourself because you're in good shape or your training went well. Like, don't think about that. Just be like, this is what I have. This is my current body. This is my current hydration level. And I'm just going to pour it out and see where we're at.
Yeah. So I got strep throat And so now I'm on day 4 of not running, another day 4 of not running. It's like been such this month, you guys, like I was training so well before the diabetes diagnosis. And then my kid got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And then that whole that saga that is continuing all the time, though he has no alarms last night. We actually slept through the night for the first time in a month. Yes.
Yay!
Yes. Anyways,
Yay!
but that also probably has to do with the fact that I was on 2 Benadryl because my body had this penicillin reaction. So I'm like covered in hives and I'm like just a hot mess over here. So anyways, it's just sucks because and I think for our listeners, like sometimes it feels like the universe is like, stop, like, no, stop having personal goals. Right. And I think there's a part of me that's like, okay, where is this ego where you just keep trying to push? And no, I've got dreams. I've got goals. I'm a dreamer. This is what I'm doing professionally. Like I still need to train and but I want to do this for myself. And then there's the other side of me that I'm like, this is crazy. Just be there for your family. You're still working so hard. Why are you doing this? Clearly your body's falling apart, But it's hard because then you see remnants of fitness. Like when I ran a 20 miler and won the race and that was awesome. And I felt like, okay, that felt totally good.
Beat
And I
all the
felt fat.
boys.
Beat all the
I would
boys.
say one
So there's like
overall.
glimmers of like, look, see, you're fit, Katie, look. And then it just helps your ego go, look, no, keep going, keep going. So I don't know. I've got the two, like the angel and the devil, like which one are you going to do? And I'm not sure if Broken Arrow is the devil or the angel, anyways,
But
I'm sort of in this weird limbo place. And I think many people listening, when you're in limbo, it's such a hard human condition. And honestly, it's maybe the hardest. It's just like, give me an answer. Tell me if I'm going to raise it or if I'm not. It would just be really nice to know. So right now I have no idea if I'm going to be racing or not, but, right now I'm just trying desperately not to like itch my skin off. And so I will hopefully be there at Broken Arrow. That's the hope. My ego is
Yay.
telling me to do it. The other part of me goes like, don't do it because you're not fit. And that would be stupid. Right. So I need our listeners to tell me if I should just show up
It's a
even if
good
I'm not fit enough.
it's a training.
yes,
It's a
a
good
good
training,
Why not?
Katie.
Right.
yes.
Like what's there to lose?
It's a good training run.
Yeah.
No, okay, here's the thing. I did it the year after Lewis was born. I did the 23K. I was not fit, and I was, I don't know, 20 something place, but it was great because I don't let your ego stop you from like experiencing the joy of racing. And also you can
Mhm.
use it to practice. Like I'm going to practice my nutrition. I'm going to practice my climbing. I'm going to practice going slow for the first 10 miles. And then I'm just going to like go fast after that. Like you can just be playful with it. And as long as you can set your ego aside and don't attribute that race to like what you're going to do at UTMB. Like I was 20th at Broken Arrow 23K, and then a few months later I was 6th at OCC.
I love that, Rachel. I think, Katie, that's like a good mindset challenge for you. And I feel like you just need to remind yourself, like, that's not your A race and you have nothing to prove to anybody. It's a stepping stone for like
Mhm.
where you want to be in September. Also, like, be grateful that you're not staring down Western states and also dealing with these life challenges. And like, sometimes life is weird
I
and sort of like works out in weird way. Both of the girls that
Mm.
got the golden tickets from Tarawera were at training camp this past weekend, Katie, and I thought about you and I was like, "Oh, do I trip them?" No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
they're wonderful. They're so sweet. I
They're
love them
wonderful.
both.
Oh
I'm
my gosh.
pacing one of them, for
I
God's sake.
joke.
No, I'm
You
so happy
guys,
for
it was
them.
so fun. It was so fun to see them out there training and like soaking it all in. So I truly am so happy. But what my point was just that, like, sometimes you might feel like you're dealing with all this life crap right now, but also maybe you got a bit of a gift in that, like, you're not also facing like professional disappointment or not being able to put in the work for your A race, and your A race is in September. And like, how great is it that you get to be at Broken Arrow and get this training in? And like, like sometimes just like it's all part of life, but in a sense, like it's okay. Like you're okay. And it's all just like part of it. And it's not ever going to be perfect. Right. Like ask Rachel and Leah, like, it's like, you guys are dealing with kids with all the things. You could get sick at any minute from the little petri dishes, like,
So true. It's such a good lesson, you guys. And honestly, it's so good to get this pep talk. Really, I needed it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it is.
It's
There
for
is
Katie and for everyone.
it's for everyone, It's just like, just to show up and have a good time and to go into it not feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Like, just do what you can do on the day. I think the reason why there's an ego hit is because I was training really hard for it, like the goal was to be fit for Broken Arrow. And then after Broken Arrow starts mountain season, right? Like that was sort of how David Roach and I had talked about my plan post Tarawera to be like fit and to climb and run fast for Broken Arrow. And I was feeling pretty good. Like I was training hard, and then the last month happened. So,
And then you weren't.
it's one of those things that, maybe it's still in there somewhere. Maybe it will
is.
come out, and maybe
It's
it
still
won't.
in there. No, everything you did is still in your bones, and everything you've ever done is still
Yeah.
in your body. Tyler always says, like, your body is wise. Like, your body has already done a lot of amazing things in your life, and you still have all of that.
Yeah, I love
It's in
that.
there. So that's my mindset going into Broken Arrow. Please don't put me on your fantasy free trail.
I don't know, Katie, you're going to be my dark horse.
I'm going to be running for joy and love. Love of the game. Anyway.
Yeah.
Aw, so good. Leah, how's your training?
Yeah, no, life's been good over here. I am, Mike is running, we got the Battle of the Husbands over here. Mike's running Scout 100 next weekend, and so is Tyler. So we'll be heading out to Scout, and I might get to do some pacing overnight out there, which would be fun.
Oh,
But yeah,
fun.
training's going
That's
great.
so
I
fun.
feel like just about as good as I ever have training, and I've been feeling, I've mentioned this on the pod in recent weeks, just more motivated than ever. And I'm going to keep riding that for as long as I can, because I don't always love running, and right now I'm really loving it and having fun with it. So we're going to keep doing that and hopefully ride it all the way till we get to Chamonix in August. But it's been
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Leah, why do you think that motivation has changed?
I sound like I'm in a job interview, but my greatest strength is I work so great under deadlines. And I think Monty is just this like constant deadline in my life of like needing to get something done in this chunk of time or needing to do this by X time. And I know how my days work if I don't get something in by like before the workday or immediately after the workday ends. And I think I'm more motivated than ever to like get it in so I don't feel like I'm missing out on time with him in the like little bit of time we get with him in the mornings than in the evenings. And it's been great. And I also think like we have such a good community of runners, and especially like female runners here in Salt Lake City right now, that there's no shortage of people to do runs with. So it's just been really fun. Like I've been acquaintances with a lot of people over the years, but really feeling more embedded than I ever have in the women's running community here. And I think it's just, yeah, it's lighting my fire quite a bit.
I love that.
Such a social butterfly. I see you running with all kinds of pals.
But I appreciate, Leah, that you're not like always in love with running, because I think I have a similar relationship with it too. And like even this weekend at training camp, watching everyone run, and I was like, man, last year I was in peak hard rock training mode, and I ran like the whole weekend, and I felt so good, and I was like running all the hills, and then right now I've got this like sciatica pain in my low back, and I'm like walking is hard, and like but just sort of like being able to appreciate all the seasons and also maximize the time you have now that you're more limited. And like, if anything, that sort of like changes the motivation. I can see that. And I think that's really like a cool spin on it. It's like, oh, like this is the chunk of time I'm carving out for this. And so sort of like you, Rachel, it's like, I'm going to just like really make like damn sure that I'm like, using it. And like, whether that's having friends to run with and like, however you need to structure it to like be accountable, You have the big,
Yeah,
scary,
100%.
terrifying goal at the end of the summer that you guys all have to like, cram towards.
So scary.
Yeah.
Okay, so Precision Fuel and Hydration. Before the Grandeur FKT, I slammed one of their P30 caffeine gels because my nutritionist from Precision said it's good to have a little caffeine before you do an effort, and I think even more important for a high intensity effort, so that was perfect. And then as I was cooling down with Caleb, I was like, I've eaten a lot of these gels and I am still really I still really love them. Like, I'm not sick of them. The flavor just is great. So I think that's kind of a really unique thing about Precision that I just I think a lot of people, they're very palatable.
What were in your bottles? Because you were carrying bottles. I was like, that seems heavy. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I get thirsty.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been adding the Precision carbohydrate powder into my bottle. So I'll do like a P1000. So 1000 milligrams of sodium per 500 milliliters. And then I'll add like a scoop of the carbohydrate drink. And then I always like to just have plain water in one of my bottles. I think it's just a good little palate cleanser. And then I use the Osprey LT vest, which I haven't really used that much. It's like their lightest, kind of most simple vest. It doesn't have much storage in the back, but it's perfect for an effort like that. So I had my two bottles that were like 3/4 of the way full. I had a gel, and then I had a little jacket in like the back pocket, and it was just like perfect.
Yeah, that seems like the perfect setup for something that short.
Well, it's nice to have your hands empty when we talk about like for the vest too. Like to have your hands empty, especially because you were using some poles, so you can't be doing a handheld with the poles as well. So
Mhm.
yeah, I get that. Very cool. I feel like for me, I don't know about you guys, but when you put your softie in your belt, then it's harder to like take it out, like especially when you're doing an effort. Like it's like it has to either be in my hand or on a pack
Mhm.
for me to actually remember and want to drink. Do you feel that way? If it's away, I'm like, ugh, it has to be either on me. And then the other thought is when it is in a flask and I'm doing a switch out, like let's say I have a soft flask in the Osprey belt and then I have a handheld in my hand and then I do a swap, the the handheld that needs to be in the belt needs to have a handhold. Like you can't just raw dog
Mm.
that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like so frustrating. Has that happened to
It
you
would
when you forget to bring the
slim right
handheld?
out of your hand.
Yeah, and then you have to use all that energy to hold the bottle. What a pain, and definitely not energy I can be losing right now. Let's be real. So make sure you bring a soft flask that has a handle. Okay, that's my
With a handle.
top hit today.
I agree.
Yep. Mhm. Good.
I tried a new thing this week on one of my workouts where I brought a half size soft flask. So it was like 250 milliliters instead of 500. And I actually put it in like the zipped back pocket that I normally put my phone in my shorts. And then it also gave me an excuse to stop at the water fountain in the middle of my workout like 4 times because I had to refill it.
Oops,
Perfect.
have to stop.
I gotta stop again.
I
I'm
gotta stop.
thirsty.
I've heard of people putting gels in those things and that you're just kind of like sipping on
Oh, yeah.
gels instead
The
of
key is
water.
to add a little bit of water so it's less viscous
Hmm.
to get it to come out. Yeah.
Yeah, just to make it easy. That might be a good UTMB tip. Or just bring the 90-gram precision, and then that's way easier. Yeah,
Mhm.
do that instead. Anyways, all the top fun tips over here. Anything else? Should we wind down?
I think so. We gotta get Hilary happy birthday, Hilary, one day late.
Happy
I think you're
birthday.
spending time with family
Happy
this week,
Thanks,
birthday.
so
guys.
don't wanna
Older and wiser and counting backwards in birthdays now.
perfect.
Yes. Yeah, super fun. Billy and I actually, because we drove up to Vancouver. I'm up in Vancouver visiting my family for a couple weeks right now because yeah, I just wanted to share some of the like pregnancy journey with them and like have them see me while I have my little bump growing. And my brother and like sister-in-law are expecting one day before us. And
Oh.
so we had dinner with everyone last night, and it's like so cute that we're both in the same place. And then my other sister just had a baby 6 months ago. So it's like I'm practicing, which is great. But yeah, no, we stopped in Bend, Oregon on our way up to Vancouver and had like a little date night and went out for an amazing steak dinner on our way up here. And that was my little birthday celebration. But yeah, it's been good.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm going to go eat hamburgers with the family in a few minutes. And yeah, it's honestly just like so much fun to see all of you guys. And I feel like we get to just catch up on life. And then thank you to all of our listeners for putting up with us and coming along for the ride. Sometimes I forget we're recording. I'm like, oh, right.
Clearly.
But it's good. We've gotten very relaxed in the last couple years, guys, from where we started. No, it's good. I love you guys. I'm so excited. I get to see all of you guys at Broken Arrow in a couple weeks, which is
Woo.
going to be great. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, if you are coming out to Western States or whatever, stay tuned for like another screening of the film, which is going to be fun.
Ooh, and should we give a
And
teaser
yeah,
that we're gonna
it's
have
gonna
a
be
live pod?
yeah, absolutely. So we're still working out the details of that, but it sounds like that will be on the Thursday morning of Western States Week, which is what day is that, you guys? June 27th, maybe? I'll take a stab in the dark. Somewhere around there, whatever
June
that Thursday is.
25th.
Yeah, 27th is the day
Okay,
of Western
there we
States.
go. We will not be recording
We
live
will
on
be
that
all
day,
very busy.
but we are going to be recording at the Precision House and doing a fun podcast with some hopefully surprise guests and all the fun things. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Rachel, you're also interviewing Emily, the scientist from Precision this week, right?
Yeah, yep, tomorrow morning. Yeah, so
Amazing.
look forward to that.
We're doing an entire episode on nutrition. And Rachel, you just got to like pick her brain on behalf of all of our listeners, and we'll try to dump as much information for you guys as we can.
Should be a good one.
It's going to be awesome.
All right.
All right, you guys, I love you all. Good to catch up. Thank you to our listeners. Follow along, leave us comments, send us love, all the things. We'll talk soon.
Bye.